Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where bitboy and jchains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, bitboy and jchains.
Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. Here we are, episode number 38. I am your co-host, bitboy. This is your other co-host, jchains. What is going on, jchains?
What's up, my brother? How you been?
Oh, busy. Very busy. Just got back from New York.
Nice. Consensus. Yeah, man. It's been if I say a beast of the last 2 weeks for me, I'm sure you can attest to what you've got going on in your life. It's been nutty, man. It's been worse than a beast of a week for the last 2 weeks for me. But I got light at the end of the tunnel. It is Friday. Usually these 2 weeks of what I do for the spring championships when we do the buses, man, they're a nightmare. So, but it's Friday, end of week 2. That means things get easier from here.
What are the spring championships?
Men's and women's lacrosse, all 3 divisions. You've got all 3 divisions of softball. And then currently we're only doing Division 2 and Division 3 baseball. Division 1 baseball will get selected on Memorial Day. So a few more weeks. And then rowing. We throw rowing in there. So it's all the spring sports.
What about underwater basket weaving? Do you guys cover that? Or
I mean, if there was a team, if they had a need, we'd do it.
Wow. You're one heck of a guy, especially when it comes to the buses. And, we got the crypto bit bus coming up soon. So definitely got a lot of bus relation going on right now.
Oh, that's my world, man. That's I never thought I'd be a bus guy, but I'm a bus guy.
Well, you definitely stay very buzzy.
Nice try.
Spelled like busy. I don't know if y'all caught that joke.
So, that's actually a pet peeve of mine, and there are people in the world that
make dad jokes.
No.
Oh,
That's
better
like,
not, or else we're gonna have to break up.
Like if they need like multiple buses, they spell the word buses with 2 S's.
Yeah.
Like for some reason that just makes my blood pressure so high. Like there's just 1 S in buses. That's all it needs to be. Anyhow.
Y'all gotta know that because we will get grammar police over here. We will get on you.
Quick. I actually I'll go to it makes me so mad if I respond to an email, I will delete the second S in that person's email so that I don't have to see it going forward.
Dude, you may need help, honestly.
I just don't like the word buses with 2 S's. Anyhow, it was New York.
Well, it was great. It was a good bussiness trip for me. That's bussiness with 2 S's instead of 1, which would be busyness. I don't know if you guys know that or not. I'm beating this joke into the ground, so I'm gonna get off the dead horse here. But yeah, New York was it was very interesting. So I just went Sunday through Tuesday. So I was only there for I was in New York for almost 48 hours. So it had to be a quick trip. I had, my helmet business. We do stuff on Tuesday night, so I had to be back for that. And then it was Mother's Day this weekend, so I had to do some Mother's Day stuff before I could head out on Sunday. But yeah, it was good. I didn't actually go into the conference because I was only there for 1 day. CoinDesk, you guys suck, did not give me my media pass. I probably just got banned from getting a media pass next year. But screw you guys. That's all I got to say.
I'll take
one. CoinDesk also ghosted on our podcast. So they're not really high on my list of, blogs that find themselves to be too important. So anyways, that's another story. But so I didn't actually, well, that's what CoinDesk is. It's a glorified blog. If you guys don't know, there is not a real official cryptocurrency publication. CoinDesk was a blog that just happened to get out in front of the crypto craze. So they just have the biggest following, and that's really how they've blown up. So I don't consider them to be real journalists by any stretch of the imagination. They have a few people there that are pretty good. I'll say that. They have a few people, especially the guy that wrote an article that quoted me. So that guy's good. I don't remember his name.
He's good. He's good in your book, huh?
That guy's golden with me. The one person that ghosted on the podcast, no, not feeling that. But anyways,
that's one of my biggest issues that I think a lot of people have with these publications, right? You got CoinDesk, you got CCN, whatever. Like you see a lot of articles that they put out are just like ridiculous. Like you can clearly see that there's, whether it's manipulation or bias, because they're definitely not covering both sides. I've seen it a few times with some of the communities I'm involved in, where you see an article that gets put out by them that clearly there was no fact checking on the other side. You know, it was either paid for or completely biased. So that's.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure that you can actually pay CCN for an article. I think it's $1,700 to have them write an article on you.
I mean, you could pay. What is it? Forbes. Yeah. You could pay Forbes.
It may have been a tweet. It may have been $1,700 for a tweet. Maybe the stories are more expensive. But yeah, a lot. You can buy a lot of these crypto publications. You know, so
that's why you always got to do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
Always do your own research. Like, don't read other articles. Like, you know, read a bunch of articles about something. Read, you know, spend some time getting to know the assets that you want to get into. Don't just jump in because Jimmy at whatever said it was a good idea.
Well, I do sponsor content on my channel, and when I do, I always say that it's sponsored. I have full disclosure on all my stories or videos that are sponsored. You know, the thing is people consider me a YouTuber, a content creator, if you will. And so when I tell them before I give them a story, like, hey, this is a sponsored, you know, section of a video, or this is a sponsored video, people hear that and they understand it. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that do it. Their communities kill them over it. In my community, the Bit Squad, big shout out to everybody that's in my community. They actually support all my sponsored content because they know I have very high standards for what I put on. And, you know, they know that by engaging with that content, they're supporting the channel, you know? So we've established that relationship of trust with each other. But the difference is with something that is parading itself as an official news / journalistic publication, and yet you can buy stories. And not only that, but they may put a disclosure in the article, but people are not going to really even see that disclosure, or they're not even going to, you know, take it with a grain of salt, if you will, because most people consider those to be similar to the New York Times. Now, maybe not to the level of the New York Times, but you expect it, unless it's an editorial article, you expect it to be unbiased, objective. And it's impossible when you're doing sponsored content to be 100% objective. You can be mostly objective. You can try your best to be unbiased. You can almost try to jump in the other ditch and try to play devil's advocate for what you're talking about. But when it comes on a journalistic website, you know, you shouldn't have to expect any of that. And that's why CoinDesk is really overrated to me. And, you know, I would even say that in a lot of ways, CoinDesk is a bad actor, you know, in crypto. And, you know, the high standards they have for giving media passes for consensus is really ridiculous, because what they're really doing is they're trying to monopolize. They want their reporters, their, you know, writers to be able to cover and get the heaviest access. They put on the conference. Really, the whole conference is just CoinDesk shilling itself. You know, that's really all consensus is. They allow other people to shill there as well. Not as much this year as last year, from what I heard, obviously, because the ICO craze is dead. But you know, that's basically what it is. And, you know, it tries to reach a different audience than a lot of the blockchain conferences do, like World CryptoCon. It tries to reach out to a more, you know, financial background, fun strategist, you know, big whale investor kind of person. That's kind of who they're trying to get there. But, you know, I don't know. That's why I like the way they handle the media passes, and the fact that I can't get a media pass. I can't even get a response from them. Like, it's really lowbrow.
Garbage.
You know? Yeah. So anyway,
a response.
So the ticket to the conference was $1,000, and I would have only been able to go on Monday. So not that I would ever pay $1,000 for a conference ticket anyways, but I certainly was not paying $1,000 for a conference ticket for one day. You know, not even a chance. So I did go to the hotel, the Hilton where it was at. You know, saw a lot of people there. You know, shout out to Crypto Zombie, saw him there, talked to him for a little bit. Ken Bozak, obviously, a lot of people that you guys know, obviously, were there. So talked to a lot of them. Our friends from Monarch were there. Beatles wasn't there, but Snay, the CEO, was there. So had a lot of good conversations with people. Met a lot of people. Went to a lot of parties. You guys know me. I'm not like a big drinker or, you know, into things like that, but I can, you know, I can party with the best of them.
You can hang, dog. Like when we came to Austin, you know, you were hanging And you weren't drinking, but you still can be fun, and it shows that people can do it. So if you're one of those people that's on the fence, man, just get off the sauce, and you can still hang out with your friends and have a good time.
Well, I used to would have been the leader in the clubhouse, So, but yeah, it's taken a lot of years for me to get to a point where I can go and enjoy that stuff. Let me tell you the one thing I hate about going to clubs. Now, I had not been to a club until I got into crypto in probably 15 years. I had not stepped foot in a club. Now, I was never like a huge, clubber. Like I used to go to raves when I was younger and, stuff like that when I was in my party stage. But I didn't go to a lot of clubs, but I've been to a few, obviously. And getting into crypto, like all the events are at clubs, so
crazy.
Getting into crypto, yeah, like I've had to start going to clubs again. Like I'm some kind of, freaking party animal or whatever. Yeah, boom, boom. Yeah, boots and cats. So, anyways, the one thing that I've realized that I didn't know about going to clubs, since it had been so long since I went, is that you have to yell all the time to have a regular conversation. And that drives me insane because every day or every time I go, like the next day I can hardly talk, not because I was like partying so hard, because I was trying to talk to somebody about about Bitcoins or an altcoin or about iost or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell them about it, but the music is so loud and people are so loud. And so that's the one thing I hate about going to the clubs. But, we went to a couple, had a good time. We also, on Sunday night, me and Brecky and TJ from Young Dumb Crypto, Yuki and the Goddess, and the girl that does the decentralized dance party. What's her name? I can't remember her name. But anyways, sorry.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to you. First time I ever met you. So Tone Vase and Naomi Brockwell, we all did a Game of Thrones watch party. So we got to watch Game of Thrones on Sunday night. Then we did a little on Naomi's channel. We did a live stream where we talked about what our thoughts on the episode and stuff like that, how it relates to Bitcoin. So yeah, just had a big fun time. It was really awesome all the way over. So had a lot of different people there, from different backgrounds, people that, a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, a lot of, people that are big into altcoins and different stuff. So wide variety of people. So
nice, man. Sounds like a good time. I was definitely checking out pictures. I was like so crazy with work. There's not a chance I could have made it there even for a day, but definitely got a chance when I was able to look on Twitter and see everybody having a good time. Looks like you guys had I used to live in New York, man. That's a fun time. I couldn't live there again, but you can have a fun time there.
Yeah, New York is fun. And hanging with the crypto peeps in real life, Wendy was also there, came on Monday. Me and TJ and Brecky and Wendy and Leslie, who was there, all in the Satoshi Droppers group. And it's always fun to see.
Droppers.
Hashtag droppers. All the people that we talk to all the time on the interwebs, it's nice to see in real life and hang out. And it's like, we've done it now so many times that, it's not even like, we're getting to know each other. It's like, you just hang, and it's fun and it's comfortable. And yeah, I have more friends now than I've had in my whole life. Just through crypto, I'm one of those guys that I have one best friend, you know what I mean? And I don't really need friends outside of that. We do everything, go to all kinds of places. We went to the Super Bowl and we have Falcon season tickets together and all that stuff. But
yeah, you and I have talked about that. I got the same deal.
Yeah.
I got one buddy. That's all I need. That's it. I need one good friend and I'm happy. But the crypto crew is awesome.
Yeah, crypto's opened a whole new perspective for me on that, on having a lot of different friends. And I think when you're looking at the Twitter community and you're kind of on the outside, you just have an account, you haven't been to any of these events, you don't really see, we're really friends in real life. We talk outside, we text, and, just like they live around the corner. So definitely fun hanging out with all those people. And, shout out to Crypto Brecky for that awesome tiger jacket he was wearing.
Nice.
It was actually a leopard, but the bouncer called it a tiger. And so I've been making fun of him. Brecky got into it with the bouncer. And the bouncer said, yeah, he got into it because he was telling him to move off the sidewalk. And Brecky's like, I'm not going to do that. And he was like, oh, okay, tiger. And I was like, Brecky, it's either you just got trolled so hard by this guy that obviously knew that's a leopard jacket, or else you just got into an argument with someone who thinks that a leopard is a tiger, and either way you lose. So he definitely took an L on
Yeah, you just go on from there, knowing that internally, you won that battle, but you can't fight with a bouncer. That doesn't work well.
There's no good results there. So, well, yeah, so it was fun, but let's move on to our Monarch Twitter shout out. So leading into that, while I was in New York, like I mentioned, I did see Snay, the CEO of Monarch. As you guys know, Beatles is the president there. And, you know, been using the Monarch app this week, and I actually had somebody who asked me, you know, where they could buy crypto at. And, you know, I told them you should go check out Monarch. So monarchtoken.io, you can download the Monarch wallet on iOS and Android. Big shout out to those guys, continuing to get bigger, producing results. Really excited to see what the future holds for Monarch. So
absolutely, that's a cool product.
So who you got this week for your shout out?
I want to shout out Travela.com. Not only are they one of the sponsors for the Crypto Bit Bus, which is the bus that we're taking from Los Angeles up to San Francisco for the Bitcoin 2019 conference, but they are a company that is, you know, they're a hotel, much like a hotels.com or one of those other sites where you can go on and you can book hotels for cheap. But they are, and this isn't not sponsored, by the way, other than that they sponsor the Bitbus, but it's really cool. They accept crypto to book your hotel rooms. And as someone, I travel quite frequently for work, so it's nice to have an option. You know, if I get my company to start paying me in Bitcoin, then I can book my hotel rooms in Bitcoin.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll never happen, but I'll use the app for sure.
I think it's time we all look for ways to, you know, make adoption happen, and that's one way to do it.
It's not just going to adopt itself. Like, we need to actually be the ones to do it. So Travela.com, you can find them on Twitter at Travela.com, and they are the leading blockchain-based travel booking platform. They got like over 500,000 properties in 210 countries, so pretty spread out.
Wow.
Just give it a try. Next time you need to book a hotel, try it in crypto. Now that the market's gone up a little, even though it's gone down a little, hopefully people made some profits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we would have recorded this podcast yesterday, this would be a totally different conversation, you know, for today. But, you know, obviously we had the dip. We will, well, before we move on to that, let me give my shout out. Yeah. Met a lot of cool people while we were in New York, people I had not met in real life before. Crypto Fungus, Justina, aka Woman in Blockchain, Thomas Schultz, Pierre Rochard, you know, Crypto Dale, Killer Whale. I'm trying to think of other people. Reptar on Twitter. I met all these people that I had not, you know, met in real life before. But who I want to shout out is actually Cody. He is at Cody Vargas _. So Cody's a real cool dude, and I had actually met him at World CryptoCon, but it was really just like, hello. That was literally, I think, all we said to each other. Or like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, I know who you are. But got to spend a pretty good amount of time with Cody at the, I think it was the Marty Bent meetup. It was like a Bitcoin maximalist meetup, which I was in camouflage. But so he was there, and we talked and stuff like that a lot. And then we talked at the blockchain or the block party event that night as well. So, you know, he's an average guy. You know, that's what he's like. I'm an average guy. I'm like, hey, I'm an average guy too. You know. So we got two average dudes hanging, chilling. You know, it's always a fun time. You know that. You're an average dude, right?
You know, I know what it's like to chill with average dudes, man. Like you said.
Love average dudes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In crypto, we're surrounded by like if you're listening, you also may be a not average dude. But we're average dudes. And it's cool if you want to listen to us. We're like average. Like, I'm wearing a Lakers shirt right now. We're a LeBron shirt. You know, I'm not wearing a Minecraft sweater or anything like that. So we're like average dudes. You know? So big shout out to Cody. You guys go follow him. He's really funny on Twitter, and he's definitely cool in real life. He told me he was going to upgrade my Planet Fitness pass from a white card to a black card. I don't know if you guys know
that sounds.
Oh, that's a huge deal.
Is it? Is that like you get like free tanning?
Yeah, you do. He can't really upgrade me though. It was a joke. But the difference is the difference between $10 a month and $20 a month. So. Oh. It's not like a huge come up, you know, but anyway.
It's a good come up. I mean, what is that? That's like $120 a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can find my Planet Fitness ref link below. I'm just kidding. I don't have one. Planet Fitness actually called me out on Twitter. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, so I just joined Planet Fitness, which is funny. I'm actually like wearing their colors right now also. But I joined Planet Fitness. It's the only gym close to me. My gym closed. So
And you moved last year.
yeah, I moved. So the gym that we joined first when we came over here, it closed. And so I joined CrossFit, and then my chiropractor was like, you need to stop doing that. You know, you're having some back problems and stuff. So like I had to find a new gym, and the only one that's close to me is Planet Fitness. And I always said I wasn't going to join Planet Fitness. I don't like Smith machines. You know what a Smith machine is?
No.
It's like a squat rack that's like on on hydraulics. It's like the bar's connected to the rack or whatever.
Oh, because you got to be able to do that stuff like a real man.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a woman.
Or a woman,
Not,
right? You
yeah,
know, so
not
I do free. You know, I like to do free weights. I do all free. I do deadlifts. I do bench press. I do squats. You know, like when I work out at the gym, is what I like to do. So, you know, having to do it on the Smith machine is like, it's weak, bro. That's what my kid would say. He'd say, "That's weak, Dad. That's weak." You know. So, but you know, Planet Fitness says they're not a gym. You know, they're like, we're not a gym. That's their thing, and it's true. It's not. They have at our gym they have pizza Mondays, so you get free all you can eat pizza on Mondays, and then bagel Tuesdays.
Really?
So yeah, so there's that. And so I made a tweet. I was like, I wanted to join a gym, but the only thing close to me was Planet Fitness, so I joined that instead. You know, like implying it's not a gym. You know, and so they replied to my tweet. Planet Fitness did, the real Planet Fitness account. They were like, "Oh, we're so glad to have you," and I was like, "Busted," you know.
I love when you like, that's the coolest thing to me, like, or not the coolest thing, but one cool thing about Twitter is that, I mean, I've had the opportunity to connect with some pretty high companies, you know, in the world. And it's just like, you get a response from them. It's pretty cool that there's actually someone on the other end of that responds to you if you've got an issue or something positive to say or anything. But
Yeah.
Getting trolled by your gym is definitely fun.
God, it was rough, dude. It was rough. That's what people say about the Beards and Bitcoins handle. They're like, "Oh, you wouldn't even believe it." Like they'll reply to you. You know, they're like so big and famous, and everybody knows them, and you know, they seem like they just be too good for everybody, but they got time for you. You know,
Yeah. Just stop with the nudes in the DM, please. I mean, we can't
please,
handle
guys. You know, gals. I
can't
mean,
handle it.
or both. Please don't. Please don't. No nudes in the DMs, please. But you know, one thing when I was in Consensus and I was talking to people, and you know, a lot of people would ask like, "Oh, what I do?" You know, that's like kind of the question when you meet people at a conference you don't know. You're like, "Oh, hi, I'm such and such," and I try to introduce myself as Ben instead of BitBoy because, you know, you don't know who you're talking to, and I try to be a little more professional than I am in real life. I guess I live a pretend life when I go to conferences. But anyways,
That's funny. You remember how you say that though? I think we were in Blanco, right? When I went to introduce myself as Justin or as jchains, and I think I called myself Jeff or something like that, right? Jason.
You introduced yourself by the wrong name. I forgot all about that. That was so funny.
Because it was like, which one am I supposed to introduce myself as? And they both came out as Jason.
But you didn't just say Jason. You said Jason.
Yeah, there was some things going on in the brain that.
Dude, it was so funny. I was dying about that. But yeah, so anyways, try to be a little more professional. And so like, you know, if I said BitBoy, like more people would know exactly, you know, what I do. Not everybody, you know, but more people. You know, I would say, hey, you know, I have a YouTube channel and I have a podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. And I was surprised, like almost everybody I talked to had heard of Beards and Bitcoins, had heard of the podcast. And the people who hadn't thought I was saying beers and Bitcoins. So, you know, very interesting. Beards. That's what I would do. I'd point to my beard. So
speaking of beards, we've officially connected with the Beard Team USA.
Yeah. America.
And they are currently in Belgium right now at the World Beard Championships. And when they get back to the States, we're going to have them on the show so that we can talk about beards.
That is huge. Huge. Kind of like these guys' beards. Huge.
Yuri, that's huge.
Dude, I hope that when they come on, you know, they're going to have those beards nice and styled for us.
I mean, I can't imagine we won't see some swirlies. Have you ever seen the one of the guy eating like ramen out of his beard?
Oh God, yeah, that's disgusting. I've seen it. So gross, dude. So gross.
I hope we don't see any of that, but I hope there's some sick designs, some sick beards.
That's a bear market when you're having to eat ramen out of your beard. You can't even afford it.
Afford a bowl.
Can't afford a bowl. Yeah, so beards are something we want to talk more about. I've been trying to get more serious about my beard, trying to grow it out a little bit thicker. It's a little uneven right now because we're trying to get rid of this patch that's on this side. So definitely trying to grow the beard out, and I'm going to be trying out some beard growth oil to try to fix that. I just got one patch in the whole beard. There's one patch, and if I could just fix that patch, I could look as good as you.
Oof.
I mean, from beard around. I mean, from mustache up, I look better, obviously.
That's a tough order to fill, sir.
I mean, your beard's nice.
I need to trim this thing. It's getting a little bushy. My wife doesn't really like when it gets this big.
My wife doesn't like mine either. She hates it. But sorry, hun. I mean, and here's what I tell people. Before we had the podcast named Beards and Bitcoins, which if you guys don't know, the reason why our podcast is called Beards and Bitcoins is because jchains bought that domain like a year ago. It was like, hey, I got this domain sitting around. I was like, yeah, that sounds good, Beards and Bitcoins. But now I've got standard uphold. I have to represent the beard, and I realized I haven't been doing that. We've really made beards the back burner on the show, but we really want to put them front and center. Kind of like.
Well, we've always tried though, because like if you notice, this is our second set with a barber shop. So I mean, We're trying to incorporate it.
Yeah, we're trying. We got to get those beard sponsors. We got. Where's Dollar Beard Club, Dollar Shave Club? Y'all come on. Well, we don't want Dollar Shave Club because you don't want to.
We're not trying to shave. We'll see about Team Beard USA or the Beard Team.
Yeah. So definitely excited to have them on. We're trying to arrange to get to the. I need to check the Falcon schedule to see what's going on the weekend. They have the United States Beard Championship in Chicago. I think it's in November.
Somewhere around there.
September or November, one of those times. So yeah, definitely trying to have more beard talk on the show. I mean, obviously this is a crypto show. Everybody knows that. We're going to talk crypto. Don't worry. We're still going to talk crypto in about, 1 minute. But, it is nice to talk about stuff outside of crypto, and I mean, I think that's what makes like podcasts like Joe Rogan so interesting is he talks about everything,
Should we shave our beards for charity?
No, no.
No.
There's no child out there that needs food enough that I need to shave my beard. I'm sorry. God, that was terribly insensitive. I'm sure there's starving children everywhere. Now, starving children everywhere and their families are boycotting the podcast. So sorry about that, guys.
Sorry about that. We're just joking.
We're just joking. But yeah, I've never shaved my beard. I mean, I've shaved it down to a goatee once because I botched my beard up. But yeah, I have not fully shaved my face in 13 years.
You had it. I mean, yeah, because you had it. Even in Vegas, you had a little thin beard, but you had your costume that it had to be.
Yeah, so I trimmed the beard very short in Vegas because of my mask for my costume. Yeah, but it was still there. I mean, the beard was there.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right. So let's talk crypto market.
Let's do it. I mean, people are still interested in crypto after that awesome beard conversation.
I mean, it's up to them.
So let's see. So we're recording this on Thursday. Let's see. What's that market looking like right now? Let me check and see.
So everything in the top 6 is in a double-digit loss today after the do you think it was a consensus pump, or do you think it was just the market's priming itself? I mean, there was no consensus pump last year.
Well, we have traditionally got a consensus pump. And what people don't understand about that consensus pump is that it actually happens in 2 waves. It happens leading up to the conference, and then it happens. I don't know if we have the same kind of dip that we just had, but it's really the next 30 days where it usually pumps very hard. So that's actually good news, because if that precedent holds, now it did not hold at all last year. We actually got the pre-consensus pump. The run up to consensus is actually when we hit 10K last year. So
okay.
We got down in the 8s and 9s, maybe the high 7s, can't really remember. 6s and 3s were unfathomable at that time. And we started running all the way back up, and we got all the way right to 10K. And we got right to 10K. It got shoved back down right before consensus, and people were like, oh, during consensus is going to pump back up. And it never did, and we never got a pump after consensus. So, but the 3 years prior to that, we had got both the pre-consensus, during consensus pump. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. And then about a month later, within the next 30 days, that's when things really started climbing. And I have to believe that is what is going on right now. That we just had the huge mega pump for consensus. the price went back down. There was a bunch of, we see orchestrated FUD, sometimes we saw the opposite, orchestrated positive news coming out of consensus, back soft launch in July coming. We got Nordstrom's and Whole Foods both saying they're going to accept Bitcoin. We got so many bullish stories coming out, and that obviously helped the pump. And then people are taking profits, and that's what has caused this little dump here. But, people have this idea when you go in this bull market that all of a sudden everything's going to be going up all the time, but that's not the case. You're always going to have a pullback when it goes up faster than it can handle, which is what just happened. And, we pulled back. I mean, we're still over 7. We're still over 7 right now.
Right now it is at 70 on coin market cap. Right now it's $7,099.88.
Yeah.
So we just dipped under 7,100.
Yeah. So, and it had dipped all the way down to 68 last night, had a little flash crash. It jumped back up to about 74 today, but I feel like this is healthy. I feel like this is healthy. If you were to draw a line from where Bitcoin was when it started pumping, at like 56, I think is where it started, to where it is now, and just drew a line from those 2 points, it's still a great move, but we did have it did go up much higher than that, over 8,000, and 8,200 is kind of the level it can't get over right now. But, I definitely think it's a good strategy right now to buy the red days, sell the green days. If you want to trade, buy the red days, sell the green days. From this point forward, I feel pretty confident in saying that is going to be a money-making strategy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think because if we start to see things like this where you've got a 10% or somewhere around there, gain or loss in a day, it's going to come back. It's just going to re-level itself back out. So, you can just scoop, and do your thing and fatten your stack. It's crazy to see Ethereum. That thing pumped up too. That went from, I think, was stagnant forever. And then all of a sudden, same thing with crypto. Huh?
I want to pat myself on the back, which you guys know I don't do it often. Only about 6 times a show, but I did report and felt pretty confident in saying 2 weeks before ETH pumped that it was about to have a mega pump. And sure enough, I reported on the story. The technicals were right. The fundamentals were right. Everything was right for Ethereum to explode. If you go look at my channel, you will see a video from about 2.5 weeks ago called Ethereum going to explode or something like that. Or is Ethereum ready? I think that was the title of the thumbnail. And sure enough, it came to pass. A lot of these coins can only be suppressed for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that, I'm not sure if we have new people listening to the podcast. I'm sure there's some new people, but excuse me, we will be having a lot of new people come in, and I'm really ready for the rush of interest to come back into the space where, companies feel like it's worthwhile to advertise on your video or podcast, and because there's new people, they're reaching new people instead of the same, 300 people over and over again, which is what it's been in the bear market. And, I think it's important for people to understand how this whole bull market works and what altcoin season is. A lot of people say alt season and they wonder what it is. Well, we just had a mini alt pump, before we had the Bitcoin dip. And this is, fundamentally how this occurs is Bitcoin starts to run up. When Bitcoin starts to run up, all of those people that have a lot of Bitcoin, they want to make profits. So they pull those profits out. Okay. Once they pull those profits out, they're not taking that money and they're not letting it sit. They're not just taking that money and going and, buying a new car with it. Some people probably do that. But what they're doing is they want to reinvest that money. So they reinvest that money into the more solid projects, Ethereum, XRP. And by solid,
top 10,
market cap, top 10, whatever, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, expect Bitcoin Cash. I'm telling you guys, when Bitcoin really starts to move here, and I feel like it's happening now, it will continue to happen over the next several months, year, whatever it might be. Watch Bitcoin Cash. It's one I've hated on for a long time, but people already started to talk about the transaction fees on Bitcoin getting very high again. And, not everyone's using the Lightning Network. And as those transaction fees get higher and higher, and people are going to start to realize that, the bigger blocks, it may actually be the answer. I'm not saying it is, But those bigger block sizes with the Bitcoin Cash allows for faster transactions and scalability and things like that. Look for it to also have a huge run. So people are pulling their profits out of Bitcoins, putting them in these more solid projects. Then we see the solid projects pump, which is what we saw over the last couple of days. Then people take those profits out and they want to be risky. And that's when because it's house money, it's house money. If you make $10,000 on a slot machine and you say, you know what, I got a chance to be a millionaire right now. If I just take this $10,000 and go, not
parlay it into something else.
Yeah, parlay it into something else because it's house money. You can't lose. Like, yes, you own the money, so you could lose it, but you can be riskier with it, Right. So you can put it and lay it down on a long shot. Like if you laid down $10,000 on that guy on the 65-1 shot that won the Kentucky Derby, you'd have $650,000. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how people see the altcoins that are outside the top 10, outside the top 20. And so what happens is people start pulling all those profits out they made from Bitcoin, put them in the solid projects, then pull those profits out, and it just trickles all the way down coin market cap. But what you got to remember is when people are pulling out so much profit from the more solid altcoins and putting them in the smaller ones, it doesn't take nearly as much money to move those, let's say, in the top 100 outside the top 20, but inside the top 100, like iost, for instance. It doesn't take nearly as much money to pump those things mega high as it does to pump the top 10. And so that's why when altcoin season really hits, like we just saw NIM had a 65% gain in one day. That's getting closer to altcoin season. You know, absolutely. When you wake up and you got a 200% gain on one coin, that's when you know it hits. And it's coming again.
Those days were so much fun. Man.
Oh man. And they're coming back. I'm excited about it. Like you're seeing it. You're seeing the pattern emerge. It may not happen tomorrow. We might sit here, for another couple of weeks at this spot. I don't think we will, but we could. But you are already starting to see the one difference I feel we might have on this next run is I'm just not 100% sure that we will see the micro caps. We saw micro caps before, that would pump enormously overnight.
The 1000x or whatever.
Yeah, those huge gains for projects. Overnight. I don't think we'll see that necessarily because people have realized all those, so many of those micro caps are just crappy projects. We're starting to understand as a community what a good project looks like. So I believe the top 100, 200, maybe as high as 500, I feel like we'll have really, really good days. A lot of 100, 200, 300% returns overnight even, but I'm not sure that we'll see, you put in $500 at one Satoshi and make $500,000 in a month, which is what happened in the last bull run in some cases. So that's the one thing I do feel like is going to be different, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. One of the things we also need, and we've spoken about this as well too, is the bull run of interest, not just the bull run of price, right? We need more people. You need more money from different people, not just more money from the people that are currently in it. Once you get, and I think, and I, last time we talked about this, I think the statistic was that the subreddit cryptocurrency had seen their largest influx in people signing up for it in like a year and a half or something like that. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see, what's going on now, how many new accounts are getting signed up. Remember when the bull run was happening, Binance, I mean, you were on a wait list. You couldn't even get an account because they.
Now it's very interesting to bring that up because now this is going back to my last point I was making, not on your point, but I want to steal that from you because this is what you're talking about right now is so important. There were so many people that were getting into crypto that time that Binance and Bittrex, and I believe other ones as well, shut down new users. I actually was trying to decide between Bittrex and Binance. I want a Bittrex account too. I already had a Binance account from, pretty early on when they opened. But Bittrex I never had, and I was like, I want to trade on there too. Bittrex is actually a U.S. company. It's in Seattle, I believe. And, you couldn't do it. You couldn't open a new account. Now, interestingly enough, that right there is a huge reason why those micro caps pumped in the last bull run. Because what happened is people that were new to crypto wanted to buy, wanted to get into these altcoins and wanted to look for something they could get huge gains on. But Bittrex and Binance were closed for new signups. So what happened is those people ended up signing up on smaller and sketchier exchanges like Cryptopia. And Cryptopia, which is a huge disaster right now, and
Don't put your money on there. If you're listening, don't put any money in there.
I've told you guys from the first day I ever used it not to use it. I've said for a year, don't use Cryptopia, because it is a place of sketchiness from start to finish, top to bottom. And but what happened is people would go to places like Cryptopia and they would find these coins that people had never heard of before, and they just throw money into it. They were just investing in 3 letters, having literally no idea what it was, what the product eventually was they were going to have, if there was a product, who the team is, not knowing anything. And that is what caused all these micro caps to go from like 1 Satoshi to 500.
It was like playing darts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
just throw it and boom.
Throw it. Yeah. Everybody's smart in a bull run. Remember that. You guys remember that. Only a few of us, like me and jchains, are smart in a bear market too. But
that's right.
Unless it's about iost. jchains doesn't know anything about that.
Thanks for reminding me.
Had to. But anyways, so people don't know what they're doing. They're just throwing money into stuff. And these exchanges will be more, they'll be more better prepared, more better. They'll be more better.
More better.
But in all seriousness, they will be better prepared for this run that's coming. And so because of that, people won't have to go to the smaller, sketchier exchanges. And the new person is not going to use a decentralized exchange. It's going to take them a while to learn about. Mm-hmm. And so, look for all of the projects on Binance to pump big time, and look for a lot of, bigger exchanges, the coins that are on there to pump big time. And there's 58 coins specifically that I have my eye on.
58?
Yeah, exactly 58.
Ooh, that's a nice little laundry list. Hey, really quick, a fact check for you. Bittrex is in fact from Seattle, Washington. So you did have that correct.
Yeah, I know. But
you said you think. You said you think.
Oh,
so I just
okay.
wanted to double check. Maybe you didn't say you think. Maybe I just looked just to be, because I was curious.
Maybe I just said I think because I want the people to think I'm humble sometimes. I'm the humblest person and there's evidence right there. Just ask me and I'll tell you. So listen, this is a quick little side story. So there was I used to go to a church, and the pastor is a really big national pastor. It's not the biggest one that a lot of people know, but he's a big national pastor and stuff like that. And they did like this real crazy thing at the church, and people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't. So he was getting like a lot of flack or whatever. And there was a lady that got on this forum, and she put a blurb like 7 paragraphs long about why that's her pastor and she loves that guy. And the last thing that she said, the last sentence was, and he is the very humblest person that I know or I've ever met. And if you ask him, he will tell you so himself. I always got a kick out of that. So that's why I always say that. Like, I'm a homeless person, just ask me and I'll tell you.
That's funny.
But yeah, so, but back to the 58 cryptocurrencies, a lot of people were probably like, why did you say that? Well, there's an article that came out in March, and I'm going to be talking about it on my channel today, actually. And a lot of people missed it. I missed this article. I did not see this article. And it is the 58 cryptocurrencies that Backed is going to list. With their,
Oh, you're smart.
58 exact cryptocurrencies that they're going to list. And let me tell you, if you don't think that they have been buying up all of those coins in that bear market and are going to be able to make them pump when they're ready, then you smoking something. So I suggest you guys look up that list of 58 cryptocurrencies that Backed is going to list. There was an article that was written in March. And one project, I'll give you 2 projects, one that is on there and one that is not on there. One that is on there is iost. So you guys know I love iost. I run a node, which, big announcement, I'm actually upgrading my node to a Survey node, which means I'll be producing blocks, which is pretty exciting news.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. So other than that, the one coin that is not on there that I found very interesting, and this coin is going to pump, but I think the reason it's not going to be on there is because they see it as competition, is Binance coin. So Huobi coin is on there, or Huobi token, but Binance coin is not on that list. So there are some outside of those 58 cryptocurrencies that obviously are worth investing in, but that is definitely a list that is gospel. You can guarantee that all of those coins on that list are going to have huge pumps when we
Not financial advice. This is just conversation. Do your own research.
Screw it. Financial advice. I'm just kidding. In case you're going to sue me. That whole not financial advice thing, it's so crazy, isn't it? But I do feel like, like during the bear market, it's really stupid to say that because all the people watching like understand because there's no new people coming in. But during a bull run, I guess it is probably pretty important to say not financial advice. So I am not an actual financial advisor, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pump those bags.
Ooh, that sounds like a great idea. You'll have to send me that list. Or I guess I could look it up. But
well, you can just watch my channel later today.
You could just send me the list.
I could.
I'll watch your channel.
No, you won't. Shut up.
Maybe.
You just watch it for my beard. What about my hair, dude? Let's talk about my hair for a second.
We were talking before we went on air.
Yeah.
At one point from here up, BitBoy looked like Elvis.
I see if I can get it again. Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, you got to have the whoop swoop and swirl.
Yeah, I'll get that whoop swoop. I don't know. It's not working right now.
No, first you did a mohawk and then you did the Elvis.
My hair is so flexible right now. Like, I don't even know. So, dude, when I was at the conference, I would intentionally take my hat off because I know people are always looking to see if I'm bald. And you know what? I'm not. And I'm going to rub it in like a mother. You know what? All those kids that picked on me in high school, you're bald as right now. And look at this freaking mane right here. Not like Austin Davis. You know that guy, Austin Davis?
He's got a lot of hair.
That guy, his hair is on another level than almost any human I've ever seen. He has so much of it, and he has it styled in a very specific, particular way. So he's going to be on the Bit Bus with us, so real excited about that.
Yes, he is. Looking forward to that.
I will not pet his hair because that would be weird. For him, not for me.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be. So.
Now you're going to have to live stream petting his hair. Sorry, Austin.
Yeah. Sorry. If I turn him around backwards, maybe people think it's a llama or something.
A llama?
Maybe. I don't know. What animal you think? Yeah, I don't know. A zebra? Is it black or white? They say it's black and white stripes. I don't know if you know that.
I don't see color.
Can you fact check that?
What people see as a llama?
Yeah, no, not do people see color. Is a zebra white or black?
They're both.
No, no. I'm serious about this. I believe it's black with white stripes.
Oh, that's like the chicken and the egg thing.
No, it's not. No, it is not. No, it's not like the chicken and the egg because, if you believe in, whether you believe in macroevolution or not, like whether or not you believe that men descended from, primates or not, the men descended from monkeys or whatever. If you don't believe in evolution, that's totally fine. I think that there is an argument for that, but microevolution, small changes over time, that is a real thing for 100%, absolutely proven, no question about it. You can, you can see it. And so a zebra would have started out as one color and over time it would have gained the stripes and changed. So, that's an example of microevolution. So it's not like the chicken and the egg. It could actually be black or white stripes. Does that make sense? Did you look it up?
So when you describe it that way, I can understand what you're saying. I have to
come down to your level,
I am also reading from the internet, so always believe everything you read, right? But it was previously believed that zebras were white animals with black stripes because the zebras have white underbellies. However, embryological evidence shows that the animal's background color is black and the white stripes and bellies were additions. That's the dumbest thing in the world.
How I get so smart? How?
How
did
funny?
I do it?
My dog is, if you look at her, she's blonde.
Oh, I love your dog.
I know.
Me and your dog are real tight.
But
I've taught my dog to hold hands now. I taught my dog to hold hands like your dog.
It's comforting to sit there. Like when your dog wants to hold your hand, you're like, oh, you
just hold a hand.
You just want to hold my hand.
Yeah. It was weird. I mean, she's a female dog. So like, it felt like she was coming on to me a little bit, but it's all good. I'll hold your dog's hand. God, what's your dog's name? What's the dog? It's something real short.
I am not going to tell you because I'll tell you, but she's going to be disappointed. So I'm not going to tell her.
No, okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can remember.
It begins with an F.
Oh, Fee.
Fia.
Fia. Yeah, I was close. Fia. I mean, hey, love him and leave him, big dog. Love him and leave him.
I'm not going to let her listen to the podcast. She'll cry. Her boyfriend. She totally.
Does she have a boyfriend dog though?
No, my buddy is her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then you came to town and you stole her heart, and then you left town, and
Yeah.
I don't know, she's been the same since, man.
Yeah, she'll never be the same. I mean, I'm famous for that. You know, like once people meet me, they just, you know, they're never the same. I mean, look at you. Look at your life. Look at your life after you met me. True or not true?
You're such an asshole. That's so true, though.
It's true. It's true. I'm telling you. It is 100% true.
Yeah. We met and then started a podcast. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
And look at it. Look at our freaking set.
What if you started the podcast with me, though? Now we're just crazy talking, huh?
Yeah. We're crazy talking now. No, I'm obviously half seriously kidding. So hats back on now. We got two conspiratorial there. So yeah, what else is going on in the world of crypto?
Oh man, I mean, I think that's it. I think it's a bad day. It's a bloody day. Don't check your block folios.
Well, we're releasing this tomorrow. So when you're listening, it'll be, or no, we're releasing it later today, huh?
Yeah, I'll try to get it out today for sure.
Yeah, we'll try to get it out today. Maybe by the time you listen, you know, things are going back up. So, which is a possibility.
Well, when we were first talking about it, we were at 7,100. We're at $7,099. Now we're at $7,199. So we've gone up $100. So it's probably due to us talking. I would have said.
Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down there. Yeah, that's what it is. 100% guaranteed. So with every, you know, they say every time a person listens to Beards and Bitcoins, Bitcoin gets a green candle. You know.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should do a little, you know, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
That's what I was.
Beards and Bitcoin style. Well, we got to make the video. Make the video.
A video. Make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we got to make that music video soon. We got to write a rap song.
Yeah, stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah. You guys be on the lookout. It's gonna drop it.
Lambos, bikini girls, floss. I mean, we'll just be making
cowboy hats. You know,
yes,
the whole 9 yards. Beards, Bitcoins, all of it. So definitely going to be really exciting stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to think of, you know, there was some big news coming out of Consensus, like I was talking about before. Whole Foods and Nordstrom's accepting Bitcoin. Of course, this is very similar to the way that Starbucks is supposed to be accepting Bitcoin once back launches. I don't know if it will be simultaneous with their soft launch they announced in July, but, you know, Starbucks supposedly will be taking it as well. You know, it's important for people to understand that, like, they are taking it, but they're not. You know,
so you bring up a good point when you say there, and maybe you can go into this more, but why were all of the articles that put out said, you know, Whole Foods, yada, 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 they're accepting Bitcoin, but don't ask them? Like, why would that be? Why is that the headline that everybody put out?
Well, because, you know, like Starbucks came out, and I think they said, like, you know, we're not accepting Bitcoin, whatever. Well, first of all, you know, it's not launched yet, you know, so it launches later. But when you do it, there's going to be a way. I don't know how yet. I don't know the how, but there will be a way that you will be able to pay with Bitcoin in a way that's similar to something like BitPay, where you have a card. It's a Visa card, or Crypto.com is coming out with one. It's a Visa card. When you swipe it, you're spending your crypto, but the person behind the counter doesn't know you're spending your crypto. They don't know you're spending your Bitcoin. Now, I don't know what the mechanism is going to be. You know, they may do it, you know, something similar to Apple Pay or whatever. So you won't go in and say, like, oh, you know, do you accept Bitcoin? They'll accept whatever mechanism it is that you're able to spend it through. And so that's probably all your average cashier is going to know. But the way that this works, and the way the BitPay card works as well, is that you take your crypto, you spend it, and when you spend it, it's coming out of your wallet. It's being sent, I'm sure, through a smart contract, probably, to whatever wallet that, you know, this place had. Well, it's probably going to a third kind of intermediary wallet, actually. It's going there, exchanging itself for cash, for US dollars, and then that US dollars is what the company is actually receiving. And it's really a good way to solve the problem of companies not wanting to accept Bitcoin because they're afraid it'll be worth, you know, your cup of coffee will be worth $4 when you spend it, but when they get it, you know, 5 minutes later, it might be worth $3.50. And if that happened for a million cups of coffee in a day, I mean, you're talking about a lot of money. So,
Absolutely.
that's the way that a lot of these are going to work.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. Not maybe not funny, but that's the issue that I'm having with the motorcycle dealer here in Austin is that I wanted to buy a new motorcycle with Bitcoin, but they won't accept it. They won't understand it. They don't understand the BitPay thing, how that just translates behind the scenes, and they get paid in fiat. And so one of the things that I'm looking forward to is, unfortunately, I have the Cash App card, which you got a KYC for. I would like to find one that I can either Fiverr out the KYC to someone else, so it's not actually me, so that I could, cheat the tax system and all that. But right now, I'm
just kidding, IRS man.
Just kidding. I'm just messing around. But so what I'm looking forward to is when the Cash App actually allows the incoming of Bitcoin, right? Because that's simple. It's to just go in there because I have Bitcoin on my Cash App account, and so if I need to do something on that card, I can just go sell $10 of Bitcoin and then go swipe the card, and it's immediate. It converts it over to having money there immediately.
Yeah. Well, Cash App is really interesting. I recently did a tutorial on how to buy Bitcoin on the Cash App because, funny enough, I was getting my beard trimmed and the guy, I didn't have cash with me. I never carry cash, literally never have cash unless I know ahead of time, this parking place only takes $20 cash. I'll grab $20. It costs money for me to pull cash out of my ATM unless I'm right at the bank, So I don't like doing it. And, I got my beard trimmed. I was like, oh, you only accept cash? He's like, yeah. Or, I can take Cash App, which I didn't have any money on my Cash App at the time, or Zelle. I use Zelle for a lot of stuff. It's bank transfers back and forth or whatever.
Yeah. That's what Chase uses for their quick pay, I think, is Zelle.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, I ended up paying through the Zelle or whatever. And I told him, I said, if you're taking money digitally, you should accept Bitcoin. And he was like, what's Bitcoin? And so, I basically explained it to him. And we talked about it for an hour and a half. He was closed. I was there, I was actually got there the minute he was supposed to close, but he went ahead and did it for me anyways. And we talked about it for a long time. And, this is something really important for you guys. When you're talking to people that don't know anything about cryptocurrency, you have to remember that you cannot feed a baby a steak. If you try to feed a baby a steak, it is going to gnaw on it and gnaw, but it's never going to be able to get off a piece of that meat. And it's never going to be able to chew it. It doesn't have teeth. It's never going to be able to swallow it. If it does, it's going to choke swallow it. That's the way you got to handle people that don't know about cryptocurrency. You have to handle them in that same way.
That is such a great metaphor for that.
Yeah.
Because it's such a different thing. It's easy to understand the concept of digital money because, like you said, no one's using cash. A card is a card is a card. We've been using digital currency for years now. So, that's not the thing. But explaining Bitcoin and blockchain and crypto, that I love that. It's just like feeding a baby a steak. You got to give him that baby. Give him that
let me tell you, if you want to feel smart, which you guys know I love to feel. If you want to feel smart and you want to really know how much you know about crypto, explain it to somebody that doesn't know about it. Explain it so they can understand it. Explain crypto to someone that doesn't know anything about crypto, and at the end of the conversation, they walk away understanding it. That's how you know a lot about crypto. You'll be surprised how much you know. You'll be talking to somebody and they'll be in awe of how much you know about this cryptocurrency. They'll just be like, man, how do you know all this stuff? It's just like you pick it up over time because we're in this every single day, and every time I do that, I'm surprised. Man, I didn't even, you never think of how complicated crypto is either until you have to break it down and explain it to somebody that doesn't know, the first word. They don't even know what a blockchain is. They don't even know what this guy's first response. This was Mike, my barber. He said, oh, in that Bitcoin, isn't that something like stocks or something like that? And I was like, well, it is an investment.
Kind of, but no.
I said it is an investment, but I'll tell you, most people in crypto have no experience or stock background.
Yeah.
I don't own any stocks. I've told people me before, I'm a very irresponsible investor. I'm either going to have a yacht or be homeless. So, yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth.
I shouldn't laugh at that. We'll
No, you can laugh at me being homeless over crypto. That would be really funny. But my whole point here in what I'm talking about the Cash App is he already used the Cash App. He uses it. So it was very easy for me to explain to him. And I went home and did a tutorial. I showed him my channel so he could go watch it. It was very easy for me to explain to him how to use the Cash App to buy Bitcoin because he already uses it. And our friend Armando, Crypto Turp, he was giving me a little bit of a hard time saying like, oh, you should have showed him Monarch. Monarch's great. I love Monarch. Monarch's a great wallet. But it's easier for me to explain to someone in a way they understand when it's something they already use.
Well, the good thing about that is it's an on-ramp, but you can connect your fiat to it. So it's you don't have to abandon completely or learn this pretty much a whole new system. You can keep your bank where it is, use this as a little on the side while I'm learning about it. It's an entry. Yeah. It's an entry. It's an on-ramp, but it's an easy one.
So Monarch is very beginner friendly, but there's a big difference between beginner and knows nothing. There's a big gap there. Once somebody goes and, starts looking into crypto and they've been looking into it for a month or 2 months, like if I were to set up the Monarch wallet right now and I knew absolutely nothing about crypto and it tells me to write down a seed phrase, like write down all these words, I'm going to be so confused. Even right there off the rip, I'm going to be like, I don't know what a seed word is. I don't know what this is. I don't know about backing up my crypto. Isn't a pen, enough? But once you start learning a little bit, then that's very common. Like all beginners probably know what seed words are, but people that don't know anything about crypto have no idea. They've never seen anything like that before. So it's just easier. And when we're talking about adoption, you have to think about, you're talking about fiat on-ramps. Like you got to think of on-ramps to get people into crypto. And once they learn, then these other possibilities like Monarch and Coinbase, then those open up. And they're both very user-friendly. Coinbase got really high fees and a lot of people don't like it, but it's very easy to use. And that's why it did so well. And so, Monarch is going to do well for that reason as well. But you always got to try to figure out, like, how can I give this grown man this baby food? Let me get this grown man this baby food,
Oof, gotta give him that baby food.
Baby food. I used to love that banana baby food when I was a kid.
That's why you wear them yellow shirts.
That's why I wear them yellow shirts, dog. Yellowed out all day. But I ain't no yellow belly. You know what I'm saying? You call me yellow belly, I lift my shirt up. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all don't want to see that.
You're too funny.
Am I really, though? Because that didn't sound like you were very convinced. I'm actually.
No, it wasn't a hard laughter. Maybe that was more of a.
It's time to end the show. It's over.
Yeah.
All right,
guys. A good ender.
Yep. Great. See you.
See you next time.
See you.
On another note, it's been fun catching up. It was a 2-week hiatus from the show. Well, just a 1 week, not a 2 week. But It's okay. We talked about it off air. We won't do that again. We'll be back to you soon. Yeah, we got a new strategy for the podcast, and you guys get ready. We're going to be doing more solo episodes because I know you love me and jchains. Mostly me. You like jchains, okay? But I'm very humble. I know y'all love jchains, and AKA Jason, and you guys like me a little. I know that. So we're going to do more. I think when we do solo episodes, we can kind of branch off and talk about stuff outside of crypto sometimes, like beards. But also, I think it's good because we can really control the conversation and talk about the things that are going on without feeling the need to, go out of the way to ask questions about, different things that may not be relative to, today, here, now. So these are, we're able to do more current event stuff and control what we're talking about. So we like that. We like it. It's a better chance for us to connect with our friends, our listeners, the people that like to hear what we got to say. Yeah. Yeah. I know like all 7 of y'all, we love y'all. Peace. Did I overshoot that? Is it less than 7? I don't know how many it is. It may be 7 exactly. So, but yeah. So anyways, big shout out to our sponsor, Monarch Token. We talked about them a good bit today for sponsoring the crypto Twitter shout out. If anyone is interested in being a title sponsor for the show, we do have that available. We're also going to be probably inserting some commercials at some point. Got to pay the bills around here. You guys got to keep the lights on. Yeah, you guys think the lights in this place behind me here, in this barber shop, you think they stay on? Hey, we got to pay to rent that space right there. I don't know if y'all know how being a barber works. We got to
we've got to pay to rent the space behind us. So anyways, going to have to pay some bills and do some things like that. So we do have opportunities available if anyone's interested in sponsoring the podcast. It's $1 million. So, all right, guys. Well, it was nice catching up. We will see you guys next week. jchains, we'll see you.
Have a good weekend.
Peace out. Yeah, have a great weekend.
See ya.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and jchains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.